Hello from the Snowgoer offices outside of the Minneapolis area. We're in the suburb called Plymouth. The grass is brown, almost seeming to wanting to turn green outside today, but we do have snow in the forecast. Right now what we're doing is we're just testing this Google Plus system to see if this is a way to share information with fellow snowmobilers. We're thinking we might be doing some interviews this spring, get on with some engineers or marketing people from the manufacturers and talk about what's new for 2017. And obviously there's a lot new for 2017 this year. You probably start with Skidoo, the new Generation 4 of the Rev chassis, the new 850 engine. It's a complete package, and it's a big deal. I mean, it may not look like a big deal when you just glance at it, but it changes the way you sit on a snowmobile, and it changes the expectations from a two-stroke engine. We were lucky enough to test these in Quebec at our Road Reports event, which was in Montana again this year. And then we had one here last week that we were able to take a run up in northern Minnesota on the trails. And having that extra room, having the new ergonomics, having the ability to rotate the handlebars up and out of the way on the X versions is a big deal. And it really changes the way the machine rides. And I personally didn't test the Summit, but our guys who tested the Summit with the 850 in it raved about the fact of how they can change where they stand in the chassis and change how they influence the chassis, and the fact that it dropped about 25 pounds in the mountains, obviously a big deal as well. Moving to probably the second biggest news this year, that turbo engine from Yamaha that's in the Sidewinder and then in Arctic Cat, Thundercat models, and 9000 series machines. That thing it's hard to come up with words to describe how fast that thing accelerates. It hits so hard. You may have thought that you guys that loved your triples in the 90s, that you were on a really fast snowmobile. No, this is a true 200 horsepower. And when it gets up around 6,500, 6,700 RPMs and that thing hits, it stretches fingers. That's not an exaggeration. And the best part is, to me, it doesn't feel like you're in a turbo, because there's not the sound of a turbo. There's not the kind of the two-stage acceleration of a turbo, and there's not that kind of irritating wastegate sound, whether it's the whoosh 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 or the chirping chipmunk that we got used to on the Suzuki turbos. That's a snowmobile worth checking out. If you're into speed, there's nothing like that in the market right now. Polaris's big news is probably, for me, is the return of the XCR badge. Now, yes, it's not that much different than a Pro S or a Pro X. You get a little bit stiffer suspension, you get some reinforcements, you get a little bit more independent front end than the Pro S, which at first I didn't think I liked. When we tested this thing in Wyoming, I wasn't real sure that I was going to be an XCR guy, but the more seat time we got on it, when we had it at Road Reports and stuff, it really does handle well, and it's a fun machine that I would definitely consider personally. Also, their new assaults, switchback assaults, are a big deal. We had one of those I was riding it 2 days ago in northern Minnesota, and it's incredible the job that Polaris did with that rear end and moving that thing. Also, the entire machine to the Axis chassis is a big deal, and you get the long RMK, which gets them up there in the flotation wars with Skidoo. So hopefully we'll be doing interviews with engineers this spring. You can follow along. You'll be able to follow along live, but then also they'll be created into YouTube videos, so you'll be able to see the engineers telling you what the story was behind these innovations that are coming for 2017. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you had a great season. I know it wasn't the greatest snow season in a lot of areas, but we'll take what Mother Nature gives us and hope for better next year. So we'll be in touch. Check back in with us. See ya.